We got the KTM right in front of me. Got my dad over here. And we're gonna do some work on the bike tonight. Alright. So first thing we're gonna take off is gonna be the rear wheel. Get that out of the way first. Just like in episode 2, I like to keep all the bolts, nuts, washers, everything like that all together, so. Next, let's take off the exhaust. Going to be putting on a full new exhaust system, so that's getting completely torn out. Starting off with the spring. All that holds the exhaust on is these two bolts and then that spring on the header. Just gotta wiggle this out. There it goes. There we go. Pop these screws out real quick. Alright, we're over here at the shock. We're gonna take this off now. I got my wrench with the extension so that I can reach in there. And we're gonna break this top bolt free. So here we go. And we've got the bolt that's on the bottom of the shock shaft, directly on the bottom. Gonna take that out as well. There we go. So those are both of the bolts that hold the shock in place. And now in order to get the shock out, we gotta loosen up the bolts that hold on the linkage. So we got this nut right here that I'm gonna remove first. And that is the nut that holds the linkage bolt. And I'm gonna pop out the linkage bolt real quick. And this is the linkage bolt. So as always, I'm gonna put these together and the shock should just pull right out. So it takes a little bit of wiggling. And I like to lift the swing arm up with one hand. Sometimes you can put your leg right underneath it. And then you just twist the shock. Gotta get it at that right angle. And it pulls out. This is good. Gonna put this linkage bolt back through the linkage. Keep that all sealed up to limit the amount of dirt that gets in there, but also so I don't lose those bolts. Keeps everything organized. I just like to do it like that, so. That's all squared away. Shock's out. Making good progress. Over here at the front of the bike now, we're going to get this front wheel off. Take out the axle nut. Crack these pinch bolts. Seems like the axle is a bit seized in there, so what I'm going to do is just tap it out like this. Alright, so now since the bike is tilted to the front, I'm going to use this strap like this and then hook it to the stand. And there you go. We got these Luxon triple clamps. We're going to loosen up all these triple clamps, drop the forks, and get those set up to be sent away to factory connection. Alright, so first things first, when you're taking off the forks, you're going to want to take off the brake first.
When installing the forks, it's important to torque the bolts evenly. So when I uninstall, I make sure to do the same thing.
Loosen, then loosen this one. So we'll just follow that. And here we go. The basic idea of just loosening one at a time is so that you evenly loosen them. That prevents you from wearing out the threads. On the last crank, I just like to keep a hand on the tube, even though it usually is pretty stuck in there, and then just kind of twist it out. And there we go. Now that I got the forks and I got the shock removed, I'm going to take them over to the shelf, which is behind me, and we'll get these packed up to send them away. So that's the fork and shock. We're all packed up, ready to go. Get those shipped up in the next week or so. So the next thing that I want to do is completely remove this gas tank, get that out of the way. And so we have this electrical connector, vent hose, and lastly, there's a bolt down here. Besides the electrical connector, the bolt, we have the fuel line. It just comes down right here, and this is a quick release, so you just push in. Get a little bit of spillage, but nothing too major. Then after you disconnected the hose line, the fuel tank will just lift right up. So here we go. And that's it. Super easy to disconnect the gas tank on these bikes, which is nice. So I'm gonna set that there for now. And now that I have that off, I'm able to see in here and I can work in here. I can clean all this up, do anything that I gotta do, check everything out. I'm gonna put this bolt back. Here I'm just gonna take off these little accessories that I have, this bar pad. Now we got a good base where I can start getting this thing cleaned up at the parts that are seen underneath. So like down here, there's dirt and mud caked on the top of the engine that I wasn't able to get with the pressure washer. So I'm just going to take a few minutes now to spray it down with the silicone spray and get a rag or a paper towel, and I'll clean this whole thing head to toe and we'll get it shined up a little bit. So let's do that. Before I get going with spraying everything down, I'm going to do the same thing I did during the pressure wash, and I'm going to cover these up with a glove. Just make sure there's no dirt getting inside that hole. And then I'm going to take this glove and we'll just cover this up so that I don't knock any dirt in there or anything like that. So cover that thing right up. And same with this electrical plug. I'm going to get a glove and we'll cover that up as well. Here we go. Just throw a glove on there, cover that up, keep that protected from whatever spray you might have out. Try to get this thing as clean as possible and keep moving on.
While the bike's all taken apart, I take a few minutes to wipe it down and clean up the dirt that I missed during the initial power wash. With the tank removed, I'm able to wipe down this vent hose, as well as clean up all the intake connections, which seem to catch a lot of dirt.
lifting up the electrical panel. I'm going to spray underneath here and we'll get a good wipe, clean that all up. Coming into this area, I see that there's some dirt stuck down on the top of the intake right there. So what I'm going to do is grab a pick and I'll be able to loosen that up, and then maybe with the air compressor I can get all that out of there. Loosen that up. Now I'm going to use the air compressor and I'm going to blast that to shoot it out of there. But before I do that, I'm going to cover up the exhaust so I don't take some dirt in there. Could use a plastic bag, rubber glove. I'm just going to use some paper towels. That'll be safe like that. Got everything really clean. Honestly, I'm really happy with how everything's cleaning up so far. And what I'm going to do from now on is take the swing arm off, take off these handlebars, triple clamps, get all that out of the way. I'm going to pretty much take away all the pivot points because I want to re-grease all this and re-grease the swing arm and the linkage. If you guys are enjoying the video so far, drop a like and let's keep going. So just another balancing act, but I've got the handlebars balanced up against this rag. Pretty happy with how that ended up. And now what we're going to do is just take this whole triple clamp, whole setup right off. So as I place these parts on the bench, I like to place them in a position that they would go back on the bike. So when I pick them back up, they're all in the correct order. Alright, all that is all tucked away. Everything seems good there. Next up is going to be the swing arm. So in order to get this linkage bolt out, I have to remove the chain guide bolt on the bottom of the swing arm. And we'll be on our way. So from here, now I just push that. There we go.
If you guys want to see how I change out the linkage bearings, drop a comment down in the comment section.
So what I'm going to do, slide this through so that the plastic is what's hitting our bolt so I don't damage the threads. Push that up. Just going to pull this to the side. This is the reason that we're changing out these bearings. There's not much pivoting going on here. There we go. And then I just have this, which I had already, which I had already done. The swing arm is off. Last thing holding me up is just the chain. So I'm just gonna pop that off and we'll be freed up. Shoo! There it is. So yeah, we'll be throwing new radiators on each side. When those come in, I'll take those off, throw new ones on. Yeah, there's definitely more stuff that I could keep taking off. You know, at the end of the day, I'm not going to replace everything, so I don't see any reason to. I think where I have it now, I was able to clean everything, check everything to make sure everything works. You know, I'm not replacing the master cylinders, so why take them off? I have them to where I can clean them. Obviously, I'm going to drain the fluid and do all the brake fluid, so that'll all get cleaned up. I'm happy with how all this cleaned up. Everything looks good. Now I have my bearings on the swing arm and the headset exposed, so I can either repack grease or replace them. I'll probably just end up replacing them while I'm this far into it. And yeah, so this is a successful night. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you on the next one.